D is just leaving Sokuntia. Okay. Now, session 8, articular storyline. Now, this session will be the last session for articular storyline itself, and it will be the last session for Casey as well, because Casey side of things, they only join in for 4 different days. Okay, so for tomorrow's sessions, she will not join in. So if you want to connect with her, get her email. Because Cebu Pacific is an airline, right? So that's where we definitely support all different airlines. Like when I go to Singapore, I definitely take Air Asia because it's much cheaper. Then, then when I go to Philippines, yeah, Cebu Pacific is one of the airline that I chose the last time, if not mistaken. Then Philippine Airlines, I have not seated in it yet, although they are my customers. Okay, yeah. So let's continue. Now, reference guides. As long as you recall the link, the password is eLearning Minds. Okay, the second link for the advanced one. And just to recap, slides equals to canvas, layers equals to more information, states equals to the looks of the certain objects, and triggers, they are actions that drive your interactivity. Now, the objectives for this session itself is performing calculations with number variables, create navigation controls with true or false variables, utilize slide number variables to track different progresses. The utilizing of slide numbers, that means you have the percentage as well. Okay, utilizing random number variable, what is that? Okay, sometimes when you throw the dice, when it's number 4, then it calls certain things. When it's number 5, it calls certain things as well. Okay, so all these things it actually allows you to do. So this is this afternoon's session now. Okay, and I also have some demos which I didn't manage to show you this two earlier. And this afternoon one is this one. This one is a random number, random number, random number variable. And this one is very interesting. Okay, so let's showcase later. And this one also makes use of true false variables as well as a reference. Okay, so Kuntia actually joined in. Thank you. Okay, then this one, the whole thing is a game base. Okay, so you can take a look how it's being done. Okay, so I don't think you want to do that type of learning. Okay, so this one is also a game. So that means when I check, that means it's true. Okay, once I don't check, that means it's false. So how can we create all those things? And how is the number variable going up, the hints, the correct matches, all these things, it works as well. Okay, so these are some of the demos that I will showcase. Then now the recordings for this morning side is already there. Okay, here. So you let me know whether all the links are clickable, because just now when I did, okay, I actually clicked, then it's managed to show. So I'm not sure about you all. Okay, now before we proceed to continue with our how called variable side, to continue with our practice this morning, let me show you some how called certain demos first before we continue, because I have all these demos to show. So you do not want to listen all the time, right? So that's where I split it up. Okay, so this one is called the robot conveyor. Okay, so this one, it needs the internet. No problem, so Kuntia. Okay, now this one is motion path as well. It just goes in, okay, and it's looping as well. Now, if I click under the first icon itself, okay, you'll see what happens. This one something to do with motion path, okay. So you see the arm, okay, the arm of this particular gadget itself. It grabs it, that's motion path to take it, then it puts it down under the trail, and then it lifts the arm up. So all those things is motion path, okay. And then after which this icon itself, it moves from right to left. Once animation is completed, then it says that industrial robots should comply with national standards. Okay, so all these things you can actually do. It's like the airline. How do you move the luggages? Now, when I see yesterday, I saw one video that is under Facebook. It's very interesting. One person is inside the cabin, how they actually put the luggages inside the cabin. Okay, it's not to say put it inside a box, not to say a box, like a small little cabin that they actually put the luggage there. Okay, it's like everything is, how to call, the luggage actually goes into the cabin under the airplane side, and a person is inside the cabin to arrange it, you know. That is so manual. Okay, so this is where you can actually do that. How can you train your people as well? Okay, so let's take a look one more. Let's say I click the third one. Okay, so this is where it grabs, it puts down, then it lifts the arm again. Then the icon actually moves to the left. Okay, so everything is under motion path. Okay, now this one is just the user entry. Okay, input text. So let's say I put Elena Lim and I click continue. Now this reference that you all know how to create already, how to reference out. Okay, so this is one sample there. And BMI calculation. Okay, this is something to do with calculation, body mass index. So how much do you weigh in pounds and in feet and inches? So in pounds, let's say I put 130. How tall I am, I think I'm 5 feet, 5 inches. Then I think only, then I click submit. Now, once I click submit, okay, the formula of how to calculate BMI is something like that. Now, the formula of how to calculate is behind the scene. Okay, so definitely it makes use of a lot of variables. Okay, more than 5 also can, more than 10 also can. Then the calculation actually takes place behind the scene. So what you get in result is the actual result, okay, of the outcome. So let's say I just click show results right now, 21.63. 21.63, normal weight still, yeah, okay. So this is normal weight, okay. So that's where this is the actual results. Now, for number variables, you can also take in decimal values, negative values as well. Okay, positive values, definitely it can take in. So this is a number variable. Now, this afternoon, we will touch base under the random number variable. Okay, now, random number variable, normally we take dice. Okay, so let's roll the dice. You rolled number 6. So when is 6, what happens? A pawn appears under the 6. And then the questions for 6 itself, it will appear. Okay, so this one is taking like a refresher course as well. Refresher means that we do not need to go in everything like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, refresher course meaning you pick what you want to learn based on the dice. Okay, so let's say I click this is correct, submit. Okay, then I roll again. Then I roll 4. Then it adds in 4 and then puts the pawn under 10. Okay, so let's say this is correct choice again. Now the ultimate goal is to reach the finish line. That's it. Okay, so this is how you can create a refresher course as well. Let's say certain parts of, let's say 1, let's say I wrote 1, 1 actually appears and they learn what is 1 first, the summary of 1, and then you answer certain questions. Okay, yeah, so this is one way of doing. Another way of doing is snakes and ladders. Okay, snakes and ladders is also making use of random number. Now, this one has 2 different players. Okay, so the first player itself is 0, second player is also 0. So right now, I put player 1 to roll the dice first. Now, the dice actually is moving. Okay, so I rolled 5. So then, after that, the pawn will move to 5. Okay, now how did I make the dice move? Okay, in a sense, I create the dice for different states. That means there are 6 states, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in order to move these dice, okay, that means 1, 5, 4, 6, all those numbers, that means I create a small little GIF file. Okay, small little GIF file before I show the results of 5. Okay, then once it's 5, that means I determine it's 5 already. Then the green pawn itself, it will go under motion path to move to 5 position. And that's it. Okay, Now, once that's it, then I move on to player 2. Okay, so let's roll the dice for player 2, which is the blue one. So right now the J file is working. Also 5. Why I roll the same number? So let's player 1. Let's see. 3. I don't get to climb the ladder. Player 2. 2. No. Yeah. So this one, sometimes you can go down. The snake, that means you go to the head, then it will come down. The ladder, that means it will go up. Okay, so sometimes I'm able to show that, but sometimes I can't because this one is random number. Okay, now this part of things is also like a refresher course. Okay, so you can put on certain lessons, then certain questions for them to answer. If they answer wrong, okay, if they answer wrong, that means you can kick. Let's say this person actually answers wrong. You can kick this person back to the start even. Okay, so that's one way of learning as well, your choice. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. Now, let's begin by showing you the outcome first. Outcome, I think, is this one. Now, this morning, okay, for some of your benefits, okay, that you all have missed, okay, so I've actually put on the name. Okay, now if let's say the people miss the name, then I click next. That means the error message will appear. We need all of the information before you are able to rent kayaks. So that means it forces you to enter the input text. Let's say EL Lim. Okay, so I've keyed in, so I put next. Now this is able to reference out as well. So how many kayaks would your group like to rent? They cost $50 each. So now if I put more than the stock level, I put let's say 16. Okay, then I click submit. So it says, I'm sorry, but we don't have 16 kayaks available. Okay, so if certain people want to put 0, okay, 0, then you click submit. You don't want to rent any kayaks, type the quantity and click submit. So this one, the number variable also able to take negative values. If I put -5, I also have you do not want to rent any kayaks. It's like this person is trying to make a fool out of you. Okay, so now these are the two scenarios that we have. Okay, so right now the third scenario, whatever in store. Okay, so I put 9, then I click submit. So it changes into a green caption. 9 kayaks coming right up, that will be 450. Okay, because $50 for one kayak, 9 times 50 equals to 450. So if that person actually changes the mind of renting, so I can put in new quantity that is 5 in quantity, then I click submit. Then 5 times 50 is 250. Okay, so if you are okay with that, then you click rental agreement. Okay, so this is generating based on what you have entered earlier, and this is printing out. Okay, then this one also can actually generate the dates out. Okay, so now we have stopped under the third scenario. So right now we will continue with that. Okay, under here. Okay. Okay, so basically you have created all this. So right now we shall continue. Okay, for those who have missed certain things, you try to follow. Okay, now for total price itself, we first create the variable first. Right now we want to do the calculation of total price. So right now under this slide, we create the variables. You see the X at the top right corner. Okay, so you click the plus. Okay, then you put the name total price. Okay, now you can select which type you want. Okay, whether true, false, text, or number. So this one is a number variable, and this is the random number variable or value. So this is where you can choose to create the dice. Okay, so I just put value first. Okay, the default value is 0. Okay, so right now I just click OK. Okay, then I click OK again. So now my variable itself, I actually put in the small little cap, the small cap. So that's where whenever I reference that way, and it begins with a percentage sign, ending with a percentage sign as well. Okay, so this is what I do. Okay, now right now we want to click rent to to calculate the total price itself. So I've created the variable. So right now I create the trigger. Okay, So it's under this layer, 1 to 10. Okay, so right now we create the trigger. That is, oh yes, I need to set the value also. I forgot. Now total price equals to the $50 each, the default value. So that's where you set 50. Okay, so sorry for that. So put in the variable, put in the default value that is 50. The type is a number, then you click OK. And then you put the variable listing here as a reference. Okay, and right now you create the trigger. Okay, now the trigger will be adjust variable. This is a new trigger for itself, adjust variable. Okay, now for this, you don't click on set first. You click under F name first. Okay, to select the different variable first. So this is where you select total price. Okay, then after that, you go back. Okay, set. That means you can subtract, multiply, divide, add, or set. Set, that means it's equal to something else. Okay, so now if you have chosen a text variable, all these things will be gone. It will be only set, okay, which is equal. So that is wrong. So make sure that total price is a number variable. Okay, so right now we want to multiply by value of 50 or by variable of quantity. Okay, variable, then you select quantity. Okay, now this is a part that I need to explain further. Okay, you make use of total price, then equal to quantity is here. Okay, I show you. Okay, quantity is here. Okay, then but the default value of total price is already 50. Okay, 50, yeah. Okay, so now that's where you multiply with 50 according to the quantity that you have set. Okay, so once you multiply it, then you store it inside total price also. Okay, you store it, you store the value, whether it's 250, whether it's 500, all the values will go into total price. So that's where we only make use of one variable for this. Okay, normal equation is that A plus B or A times B equals to C. Okay, but right now we actually make use of one variable only. So that means A is quantity, okay, times B equals to B itself. Okay, so that's what we mean. Now, once you multiply total price by variable quantity upon timeline starts on this slide itself or this layer. Okay, so now after you have done this trigger, okay, so that's where we would test this program, see whether it works. Okay, there is certain issue still. Okay, so do this trigger first. Okay, so right now I just click OK, then I preview. Okay, so this one, it doesn't reference because I did not key in my name, $50 each. So that's where I put 6. 6 times 50 equals to 300. Okay, so that means I click submit. Now it comes out 300 for me. Okay, so that is right already. Okay, so now, so what if I want to change my quantity? So that means I need to click on the new quantity that we have not created the triggers yet. Okay, rental agreement also we have not created. Okay, so that is what. Okay, now, so right now we need to create two different triggers. Rental agreement jumps to 1.3 slide. New quantity actually closes the layer. That's it. That means closes the layer. That means I just go back to 1 to 10. That means I can key in the new value again. So that's where rental agreement, let's create that trigger also. That means I jump to slide 1.3 slide, okay, upon clicking on rental button. Okay, then new quantity, I just hide the layer. Hide layer, this layer, when user clicks for new quantity button. Create two more triggers. Okay, now right now I just test my programmer. So I put 5 times 50 equals to 250, so I submit 250, which is right. Now right now I click under new quantity. Okay, now once I put in new quantity, then it hides the layer. Okay, so right now I put 6. Now 5 times 50 equals to 250. 250 is inside the total price right now. Okay, so right now I put 4. Okay, now whether 4 times 50 or 4 times 250. So once I click submit, it becomes 1000. That means 4 times 250 because you make use of the same variable. What happens is that, let me explain again. Okay, so when I multiply with the quantity, just now I put 6, I think I put 5. 5 times 60 equals to 250. 250 is being stored inside total price. Okay, so when I want to key in a new quantity that is 4, that means 4, I multiply with 250 already. That's how I have 1000. So how to make it reinitialize the variable again? Okay, reinitialize, that means I go back to the original state of $50. Okay, so this is one issue that we need to solve. Okay, so let's close review. Now, how can we solve this? By creating a trigger. Okay, now this is how you can solve it. Adjust the variable, set, where is total price, to the value of 50. Upon when? Upon timeline starts on this slide. So whenever I hide this layer, okay, that means it goes back to the base layer. Okay, so whenever it calls for, I already enter, I click submit, it calls the same layer again. That means every time it restarts the layer. So that means I'm reinitializing based on timeline starts. Okay, so let's try this, preview this slide. So let's say I want to put in 6 in quantity, 6 times 50 equals to 6 times 50. Wrong again. This one, the sequence also need to be right. So I put in 6 in quantity, 6 times 50 equals to 300. Okay, so let's say I change my quantity to 4. Okay, 4 times 50 equals to 200. Okay, now earlier on, there was this issue that you still see 50 there. Why? Because of this sequence. You don't multiply, then only you set total 50 because, okay, is that you need to reinitialize first every single time upon timeline starts. Okay, then only you start to multiply. So triggers itself, it reads from top down for certain objects. Understand that concept? If you all don't understand, you all can ask me. Can. Okay. Any questions? None. Okay. So create all these triggers. I'll give you some time. Once you created, put a thumbs up. Once it's working as expected, also you can put a thumbs up. Anyone has any challenges? Okay, Shira managed too. That's great. Once you're done and working as expected, put a thumbs up so that I know that I can continue. Yes, Casey. Can't hear you. I'm unable to hear you. Maybe you should type.
Elena, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yeah.
I removed my earphone.
Okay,
So I followed the triggers and
yeah,
then I tried previewing it.
yeah.
However, when I input the quantity, it
Mm-hmm.
does not multiply the
Yes.
amount.
Can you,
It
yeah, can
why
you
is
share
that
your screen?
so?
Yeah, can you
Hold
share your
on.
screen? Yeah. I think she has a call. So anyone else has any challenges? Virat managed to do it. Okay, Casey is showing already. Kenna, okay, put a thumbs up already. Casey, your mic is off. Um, okay, you have QTY2, your quantity, that means is the variable is called
Yes.
QTY2, okay? You need to change the sequence that is set total price to above. So click under set total price. You move it up a bit. Yes. So timeline starts on this layer, variable. Okay, check the variables again. Can you go into manage project variables, the X thing? Yeah. Total price number 50. Yeah. So let's preview one more time. Key in a quantity.
I
5,
hear you.
250. New quantity, 6.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's just the
working.
sequencing, right? That you're
Yes.
saying earlier. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. So right now, let me share my screen. Okay. Now we shall continue because I recall that Lisa side in the morning you did not follow this, so I can just continue, right? Now, let's say I need to save this as well. Okay. Now, right now, we need to cater for the plural and singular form for kayaks. If I only order one quantity to rent, that means it's kayak. If I order more than one quantity, that means 2 to 10, that means is with the S. So how can we do that? Okay, so meaning that I need to create a variable. Okay, the variable, that means it's a text variable for that. Okay, so let's go into the variable. Then let's say I click the plus and I put in kayaks. Oops, with the S first. Okay, default value definitely is kayaks because there's more for that. Okay, so that's what I do. Okay, now basically, then after that, I click OK. Okay, so I created the variable for this. Click OK again. Now, right now, I need to trigger it for the singular effect. Okay, singular, that means without the S first. Now, adjust the variable. Variable is called kayaks, okay, to the value of singular, meaning without the S. So I just put kayak, okay, and let's say timeline starts on this layer itself, okay, and then after that, certain conditions meet. That means if I order only one quantity, so that's where QTY equals the value of 1. Now, when the criteria meets, that means when the value is 1, then I change this kayaks with the S to only kayak, okay, without the S. Okay, so this is what I do. So right now I click OK. Now this part of things I also need to change because I need to put the percentage sign as part of the reference. So my variable is kayaks. Okay, And then after which, you also need to cater for the value of kayaks with the S. So let's create, or I can duplicate. Okay, just double click. And this one is this layer, value of kayaks. If the value is greater than 1, okay, something like this, then I just click OK. So more than 1 definitely is the plural form, that is kayaks with the S. Okay, so I did 3 things. One thing is that, okay, I created the trigger that is a singular form whenever the quantity is equals to 1. When the quantity is greater than 1, then I put the kayaks with the S. And also, you need to change the reference, add in the reference, that is percentage sign beginning and ending with the percentage sign. Okay, then in between is the variable name itself. Okay, so right now, let me preview. So let's say I ran 1 in quantity. Let's check the singular form. It changes to kayak. Okay, so let's say I put in 7 in quantity. It changed to kayaks. Okay, so this is what we mean. Okay, so text variables you already know. Number variables also you kind of know already. Okay, bear in mind that sometimes you'll need to reinitialize certain variables to kickstart again back to 0 or back to blank again so that you can start calculating again. Okay, and the next one is true false. Okay, true false variables is either one answer, and before we move into true false, we need to go into JavaScript first. Okay, so hopefully you are done. Shaira, have you completed this? Not yet. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Just
okay.
completed.
Okay. Yeah. So now let's move on into JavaScript. Okay. Save your file. Now, JavaScript itself, the whole storyline is developed, okay, using JavaScript, okay, or using Java itself. Okay, so JavaScript is simpler. That means it makes use of English language that we actually can form certain functions there. Okay, some of the functions that is formed is based on articulate functions. So if you want to know more for JavaScript, let's put it on for session 8. Okay, under resources, if not mistaken, there is common uses of JavaScript. Now, let's switch that on. Okay, all of you launch it because I need you all to copy certain things as well. Okay, now this part of things is the example that assigns the current date to a storyline variable. Okay, so now dates are not supported under storyline. Bear in mind, dates are not supported. So that's where storyline side, you really need a variable for the date side of things. So this is the script for that. Okay, all these things. Okay, then after that, you got text only, text and value of storyline variable. You can store all these things into a text files. Okay, then sometimes you want to print a slide, you want to send an email message, all those things is available. Now, we also pass you SCORM 2004 and SCORM 1.2. Now, SCORM 2004 itself, the only changes is that it has SCORM 2004. You notice that over here, it does not have, it's only having LMS API. Okay, 1.2 is a standard. So most likely, if you upgrade to LMS SCORM 2004 already, so you need to change all the scripts based on the content side. Now, why is this important? Okay, now all LMSs have this student ID as the ID name itself. Okay, so this is very important for you to know. And the student name itself is this one. So definitely employee ID is student ID. Okay, employee name is student name. Okay, all LMSs. Okay, so this is very simple. So that means I can just get all my things from SCORM 2004. If let's say I just uploaded a content, okay, the the LMS is sitting somewhere, okay, upload the content into the LMS, and no matter what, I'm able to say that, oh, good morning, Elena, or good morning, Sokuntia. Okay, that's what I can get reference out based on that. Okay, so this is somewhat important to you as well. I'm not sure. Okay, it personalizes the training. Okay, so this is what we want to copy. Okay, the dates function, this whole thing, okay, copy this first. Okay, then go back into storyline. Where? Okay, now move on into the third slide. Okay, so right now we need to key in certain things first. Text box, you key in this rental agreement. Oops. Okay, I put in two different text boxes. Insert text box. Okay, name. Oops. Okay, that means I need to put the reference. What is the reference again? F name, percentage, last name, percentage again. Last name is renting quantity, reference as well. Quantity, kayaks, which is also reference. Okay, from the kayak shop, from the kayak shop. Okay, put in total price, which is percentage, total price. Okay, and then put in the date. So this one is referencing, so I just put as date. So later on, we need to create this variable itself. So I will highlight all the referencing. Just key in this first. Oh, total price got dollar sign. Forgot. Okay, so once you have keyed in, let's create the trigger to call the JavaScript that earlier I copied. Okay, from a trigger, that the first trigger is, what is that? Execute JavaScript. Okay, now the red line itself, you can click in order to put in the JavaScript itself. So that means I just paste. Now, what does this JavaScript does? Let me explain. Okay, now first it declares the current time. Okay, then it declares the month, day, year. So all these things is declaration of the function itself. Okay, then all of it, the month, day, year, all of it is stored inside date string. Date string, that means it's a text. Okay, whatever which is string, that means it's text basis. So now, whatever which is between the double quote, okay, which is double quote, that means those are text files. Okay, so that's where it needs to store under the date string as well. Now, if let's say you want to change the sequence, you can. Okay, so I just put in month. Then because Malaysia side, we follow day month here. Okay, US side, I think they, they follow month, day, year itself. Yeah. So I just change it. I'm not sure of you all. Okay. Now, after which, this one is a storyline feature, storyline function itself. Now, the date string from here, okay, you put it down here. And how to display out, you store it inside here. So the variable that I put in is as date. Okay. Now, why I put in as date, okay, instead of system date? Because we noticed that some of the PCs, okay, that are installed, they already make use of this variable itself. That means it's system date. So that's where your variable cannot be the same as your OS system date. Okay, so if this one does not work also, that means I will put as date 1. Okay, so that's the gimmick. Okay, so these are the only changes that I do. Okay, now after which I click OK. Now upon timeline starts on this slide, okay, so I just click OK. Now right now I need to create the variable of as date itself because I've yet to create for the date. So I click under the X, click plus, and I put in my variable, which is as date. It is a text variable, default value, which is blank. Okay, and I just immediately just click OK and click OK again. Okay. After which you cannot preview, okay, for JavaScript since it's making use of the third party. Okay, so that's where you need to publish it out first before you can check. Okay, so I will publish under the web base. Let's publish into desktop. Yep, JavaScript starter, publish entire folder. Okay, so right now I view the project. So I just put in Elena, then put in lim A, then I click next, so it comes out Elena. So let's say I put 5, submit, 5 kayaks, 250, rental agreement, JavaScript is working already. Okay, yeah. So anyone has any challenges with that? Okay, if it is working as expected, please put a thumbs up so that we can move on to true false variables. Wow, today very sleepy, me. Okay, Casey already put a thumbs up. Good. How about VReact, Shira?
Elena, can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you published it, you click which
Web.
one?
Web.
Web. Okay. Okay.
Okay, Shira also
Got
put a
that.
thumbs up already. VReact side. Any problems or issues? Okay. He put a thumbs up as well. Now for JavaScript, okay, so if there are things that you need to cater for, okay, that means certain things that is not achievable under storyline, okay. Now you can hire a freelancer, okay, tell him what or tell her what you need to do. That means the person just need to create the JavaScript, everything in one page, okay. Do it in JavaScript, then you ask this person to that means to review what has been done. So you need to check it first. Okay, so the program itself, once it's working, they pass to you, then you can just import the script itself within a slide. Okay, so all those things is possible as well. Yeah. So there are things that aren't supported by storyline, definitely. Okay, all different tools also, there are things that does not support. So this is the how called the secondary measure that you can have. That is, you put in the JavaScript under Storyline, or you put in other scripts that is under another softwares as well. Okay, yeah. So if it is working fine, okay, so just click close, save and close, because we'll move on to another file. Okay, so this one we have done with JavaScript, text variables, as well as number variables, the calculation of number variables as well. Okay, so let's close this as well. Right now we need to move on to true false variables, and the break time today is around 3:30. Okay, yeah. So now let's showcase this one while you all are opening this file itself. True false number starter. Let's open this. Okay, did I open this? Let me check. Yeah. Now, once you open it up, it becomes something like that. You have a lot of slides. Okay. Now the structure is something like this. Okay. So hopefully that you all can open. Okay. Now, while I'm waiting for you all to open, okay, so let me just showcase what is this. Now, next. Now, firstly, all these things is for checking purposes, the false one, okay? Now, the only thing that you can click, which is topic A, B, C. The quiz is actually locked, okay? The progress is actually here. The slide number, which is 2. Total slides, which is 14. The percentage is also there, okay? Up to you. The navigation help, that means what you need to do in order to navigate it, okay? Now, firstly, you click topic A. Okay, the percentage actually goes up. The total, not to say the total slide, the slide number actually goes up as well. Now, if I click previous, see what happens. This state has changed into in progress. Okay, so now once I click next, let's say I go in again, next, that means it's slide 2. Okay, then after that, I go into slide 3, the last slide of this scene. So after which I click next again in order to go back. Okay, so once I go back, it marks as a check mark. Okay, so what happens here? There are several triggers that work, okay, which is true, false. Now imagine this, that once I click topic A, okay, the first slide, I don't want it to mark as completed. For slide 2 also, I don't want it to mark as completed. Only the last slide of the scene that I want it to mark as completed. Okay, so that's where the trigger is under the last slide of that scene. Okay, the variable is also, okay. Now, once the variable is true, okay, then the menu under here, I mark it as completed. Okay, you can track with 2 different triggers under different slides even. Now, variable side, you can recall based on the slide, based on certain scenes, based on the whole project. It's not only within a slide. So that's where earlier we did the calculation, okay? So sometimes we can reference out with different slides even. Okay, so this one is able to recall based on slides, scenes, or different projects, okay, for one course itself. Okay, so how to make the quiz open up? So that means I need to finish topic C and topic B. So if let's say I go with topic C first, next, then it marks as completed, my quiz is still locked. Then let's say I click topic B, okay, then it opens up quiz. Okay, of course, the slide number goes up, the percentage also goes up. Okay, so this is the thing. Then you can click on the quiz as well. Okay, so let's see whether it marks as completed for quiz. Oh, this one, it does not mark because next is that course conclusion. I cannot go back. Okay, yeah. So we shall do this. So I hope everyone has opened up this deck. Once you open up already, let's go into the first slide. Check your elements. Okay, you only have topic A. Okay, then quiz, topic C, topic B, topic A is all hidden. So that's where you do not make use of that. We only make use of topic A, B, T, N. Okay, yeah. Okay, Now, let's move into the states first. Okay, these are the prebuilt states. You have normal, hover, down, visited, disabled, and completed. Let's go into visited first. Do you have this one, which is the circle beside? If you do not have, then you can create under insert shape. Okay, just put an oval shape. Where's the oval shape? This one beside it. Okay, then I name it as in progress. Change that to black in color. Oh, God, also. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Now you have one completed state right towards the end. Okay. So right now for completed, okay, we need to create the same thing with the check mark. So that's where I just insert shape, oval shape, something like this also. Okay. Which I want thicker. Okay. Then creating it, the shape field, which is white, so that my check mark can be seen. So now you have two different check marks. One is insert shape, then you can create the check mark here, which is something like this. Then after that, you have selected, you need to draw on your slide, or you can insert the icons under content library if you are able to search check mark. Enter. So certain check marks, so I think which check mark will be nice. I think this one will do. Click insert. Yeah, something like this. Oops. Yeah. Okay. As long as you have two different states, that is visited as well as completed. Okay. Once you have created this state, please put a thumbs up so that I can continue. Okay, Casey already put a thumbs up. That's great. Shaira also. Okay, VRAG also. I'm not sure whether Lisa is following. Okay, I guess she's not. It's fine. Okay, so that's where I click done editing. Okay, so right now for topic A itself under normal. Okay, so right now we need to duplicate the topic A itself. Okay, so I duplicate, copy and paste. Okay, something like this. Okay, so this one I put it B. This one, oops, I put C, topic C, and this one I name it as quiz. Okay. And then also I need to rename my buttons under the timeline there. Okay, so this one I rename it as topic B button so that I will not get confused. Button and quizzes. Quiz BTN. So do that first. Okay, now once that is done, you can see all the states is already created. For quiz, you have all this. For topic C also, everything is changed. Okay, for topic B as well, everything has changed, and topic A as well. Okay, now for quiz side of things, definitely we need to deal something under the disabled. So let's double click under the quiz, disabled state. Now disabled mostly is gray in color. So that's where we need to change this to gray in color. Let's say a darker gray, something like this. Now, for the log function, definitely you need to change into a log. So for this button, I can just directly just go under button tools format, the top left corner, the third button, I can just put a log there. Okay. Yeah. And then also I need to click done editing. I need to change the initial state of quiz button to disabled so that at the starting phase is disabled already. Okay. Yeah. So what did I do? I just changed the quiz button. Okay. Quiz button to gray in color. And then I set the state to disable. Then I add the lock also. Under button tools format, the top left corner, button icons, then I selected a lock. Okay. Yeah. So right now on the timeline, for each and every button, we need to link to different scenes first. Okay, so this is where I click on the topic A, create a trigger that is jump to scene. Okay, so I click jump to scene, then you select the different scenes, which is topic A. Upon user clicks on topic A, BTN. Do that for the same thing for all the other 3 buttons as well.
Alina, sorry, can you repeat the last part about the buttons?
You mean creating the triggers?
Yeah.
Okay, that means topic A, we want to link to different scenes because you see that this one is scenes 1, 2, 3, topic ABC. So this is where I created this trigger for topic A button lah. Then after that, you need to create for topic B button, topic C button, as well as quiz button.
Okay, got it.
Okay. After you have created, go back to story view. Okay, so this one, it will branch out like a tree branch after that. Okay, whether you get the same similar structure, I'm not sure. Yeah. Imagine this month itself, I'm conducting 2 different trainings. Next week is another training. Actually, next week I got 2 different trainings as well. One is conducted by my colleague, another one is conducted by myself. Okay. Then the following week, I also got another training. So Casey was wondering, can conduct so many trainings within 1 month? Can. That's where you can say that why we become so familiar with the content already. Although we, although we have not actually know you, but sometimes I can actually assume what mistakes that you all do as well. Okay, we can actually predict as well. Content is so familiar by us already right now. But it's not that familiar by my colleague because whenever it clashes with certain trainings, only then that I will ask her to train. Yeah. Okay. So I believe that most of you all have done all the triggers already. Okay. So now for this exercise itself, okay, if you need to test a program, you need to test as preview as entire project because it makes use of different scenes. Okay, so this is where you need to preview by entire project, not preview by slide. Okay, now let me explain. Okay, once you click on the topic A, okay, it goes into this slide. Okay, topic A, it jumps into this slide. This one is not marked as completed. This second slide also is not marked as complete, not marked as completed. Under the last slide only is marked as completed with a check mark. Okay, so over here itself, we will create a variable, okay, a trigger that tracks the variable. Let's say topic A is true, okay, the menu side will mark it as completed. Okay, if it is not true, that means it's false, I don't do anything. Okay, so that's what I do. Okay, so let's create the variable under the third slide of this scene first, topic A. Okay, create a plus. The variable one, that means I rename as topic A. Oops, topic A complete. Okay, now the type, which is a true false variable. Okay, default value, which is false. That means I don't do anything first. Okay, once it happens, the criteria meets, then only I do something. Okay, so topic A underscore complete, which is a true false, then the default value, which is false. Okay, and then after which I click OK. Okay, now right now I just click OK again. Now once I created the variable, I proceed to move on into the trigger. Okay, set the trigger to true first, which is adjust variable. Topic A completed to true whenever timeline starts. You can make it timeline ends as well, okay? But first we need to test this first, whether it's working. So timeline starts is easier to test. After it's working already, you come back into these slides under the last slide of this scene, then you change everything to timeline ends. That means timeline ends, that means the seek bar needs to go up to the ending of the slide, then only it marks as completed. Okay, now this is the trigger that you do. Okay, now there's one more thing. So once it's true, okay, I need to go back to the menu to change it into completed with the check mark. Okay, so this trigger, I click OK, go back into the main menu. I create the trigger that is for topic A, okay, which is changing of states. So change state of topic A BTN to completed upon what? Upon timeline starts on this slide whenever the variable of topic A complete is true. So this is a criteria. So topic A equals to true. Okay. So do that. So whenever I come back to this slide, definitely it's timeline starts. Okay, yeah. I hope this is right. Okay, so let's say I click OK, and let me test this out first before I continue with the rest. So preview selected slides. So once I click topic A, then I go back, it's marking as in progress, then I go in again, then this rhyme, let's say I go back to next again, it's supposed to be having a check mark, which is right. Okay. So right now, there are two things that you need to do, not to say two things, two areas that you need to cater for. The menu, okay, of the trigger, that is change state of the button. And this one, the last slide of the scene, you need to create the variable, you need to create the trigger. Do for the rest as well. I give you some time, no problem. After you have done it, you need to preview entire project, see whether it works accordingly. If you all have any challenges, you can ask. Once you completed in checking, put a thumbs up so that I'll know that I can continue. If you all have any challenges or issues, you can ask right now. Okay, Shira managed to do it already. That's great. I'm not sure whether the rest of you all have problems. Casey, Viret, Lisa, how are you all doing? Still doing, or you all have issues already? I'm not sure.
Elena still doing it. Can you give me a couple of minutes? Sorry.
Can, no problem, can. So that I can view my Facebook more. I'm paying my bills also.
Sorry, Elena.
Yep.
Could you tell how to the instruction again? Due to I got interruption. Someone called me.
From where
Okay.
onwards?
From the scene one.
Scene one, which is introduction. Yeah.
Introduction after create the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what we gonna do? What?
For topic A, did you add all these states? That means you created the completed state as well?
Yeah, yes, that all.
Okay.
Already.
Have you linked to different scenes for topic A, B, C, D?
Already.
Okay. So right now is the trigger part. Okay. So go in under topic A, the last slide. Okay. Create the variable, which is topic A complete, which is a true or false.
A complete, true or false. Okay.
Yes. That means it's false. The default value is false.
Okay.
Okay. Once you created ready, you click OK. Then create the trigger. That means it's this trigger. Oops. Create the trigger. This trigger itself, that means you set the topic A to true. Once it's true, then the menu side will mark as a completed. There are 3 things to do for one topic A itself.
Okay.
Okay. So set topic A to the value of true whenever timeline starts. This is the second part. The last part of things, you need to go back to the main menu. And then after that, for this trigger, you need to change the state for topic A button to completed upon timeline starts of this slide whenever topic A is equals to true.
Okay, let me try.
Yes. So once you have done the topic A scene, you can view the selected slides, okay, before you continue for the rest lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you're done, put a thumbs up. So any problems, Casey? Have you completed?
I'm close to. In the variables, Elena, I commit one mistake. I forgot to edit the type. Should be true or false. But now
Ah,
I cannot. I can no
so that means
longer
yes.
change it.
Yeah, so that means you need to actually remove that particular variable and recreate the variable. Because once you put the
Oh,
certain type, let's say text variable, that means you need to create another variable for that. You cannot change.
okay, Elena, please wait for me.
I'm waiting for VREAC as well. Yeah. So any problems, VREAC? We will take a break at 3:30.
Could you show me the trigger in scene to the last slide?
Can, which is this one?
Yes. Two. Yeah.
Okay.
It is same, but when I preview it, it wait. It not change to the complete state.
Have you done this trigger under the main menu there? This trigger, did you do it?
Oh, wait.
Under main menu, under the scene 1.
For the scene 2, the last slide only one trigger, right?
Yes.
Why it's not show the complete?
You need to click next.
Yeah.
Okay, until you reach the last slide of the scene. Okay, then only you can make this happen. So once you created this already, it is fine.
Yeah, I already created.
Have you used the correct object, this particular object?
Let me check it. Oh, wrong. Yeah.
You need to use the correct object, not topic A finish.
Yeah. Yes. Let me review again.
Lina,
Yes.
Casey here.
Yeah.
So I'm good with the topic A, B, but the states for topic C, it does not change to complete. Although the trigger for topic C button is the same with A and B.
Okay. Have you checked the state here under the main menu? Whether you selected the correct object.
It's change state of topic C button.
Yeah. To complete it.
To completed.
Yeah.
Yep. When the timeline starts on this slide.
Yeah. When topic C complete is equals to true, is it?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Then move on to topic C under the last slide. Last slide. Whether you have this trigger also.
Set topic C to value true. Oh.
What?
Is this different from... Why do I have the same? I also have the same. Okay. Why? Okay, delete. I included if condition. So it should just be set topic C complete to value true when the timeline starts on this slide.
Yes. Okay. No conditions there.
Yes. No conditions.
Yeah.
I have a lot of conditions, in this practice.
Okay. Virek, have you completed? Is it working fine?
Yeah, it's well. And then after we review again, it still keep the reading. I mean, complete bottom.
Complete button. What does it mean?
Yeah. That when I test it, mean I review at the first time, it not show the complete bottom. Yeah. After that, when I change the trigger the bottom, and then I preview again, it show the complete the bottom.
Yes. Okay. For scene for topic A lah.
Yeah.
So you do the same thing for topic B, topic C, as well as quiz.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So Casey, done? Completed?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So now, I think it's good time to take a break while VREC is completing, okay, for topic BC as well as quizzes. Right now is good time to take a break. So how about we take a toilet break as well? 15 minutes, shall we? Where is my timer? Why it goes at the bottom? Okay, so everyone should come back around 3:46 like that. How about that? Okay, yeah. So you can do some coffee, some tea, or you want to eat certain breaks, your lunch, I don't know. So take a break right now. Thank you.
Hi, Elena. Casey here.
Okay, so once everyone is back, we'll continue from here. It's about to rain in Malaysia right now, in KL. Yeah. Okay, Casey is back. Put a thumbs up if you're back.
Elena, I'm back early because I have a question. Since today is my last day, I
Yeah,
just grabbed
yeah.
my drink. So today
Okay.
is my last day. So I have my question is, the triggers are really quite confusing, to be honest, for someone who has little knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have like a manual like that explains the use or the function of each triggers?
I
So is
don't
that included
have.
in our? Mhm.
Yeah, because they keep adding triggers one sometimes. So let me find out whether Articulate has that.
Because I'm seeing this already. This will be my challenge when I
Yeah,
start doing my.
understand. All about triggers. Everything you need to know. Triggers is 293. Trigger panel. This is how you can add explanation. I don't think there is. Yeah, this one is nothing. Okay, this one also nothing.
Hi, this is Tom, and I'm going to do a quick overview of the new trigger workflow in Storyline 360. You'll find that working with the trigger wizard. Older versions have a lock button. I want a trigger wizard.
This one is telling you how does it work.
So I'm going to go to this.
I don't think there is from Articulate as well because they keep adding on triggers. So what I can do is, can you review, even if not mistaken, I've explained this under the 4th or 5th session. Yeah, the trigger side, what does it do for each and everything? Yeah, just, I'm not sure
Yeah,
whether it's the
sure.
4th session or the 5th session, but you remind me that I need to actually create something on that as well. Okay, let me try to create something under the reference guides. Okay, under the basic reference guides and not the advanced side. So that's where you can have the explanation, yeah, in the future. Yeah.
You're so generous. Thank you so much, Elena.
It's not only for you, it's for the benefit for other
Yeah.
participants as well. Yeah. Okay, Virat came back already. Shaira also came back. Okay. Lisa, are you back? Okay, back already. So I stop. So that's where under storyline, which is this one, okay? Now, in a sense that once I preview entire project, okay, let's click next, topic A, next, next, next. It comes out the check mark, topic C. Then comes out another check mark, topic B as well, comes out another check mark. Now, once all this has been changed to completed, how come quiz is still not enabled yet? Okay, for you to click. So that's why we need to create one more trigger. Okay, let's go back to the main menu. Now, you have created for topic A, B, C, and quiz. That means it's completed. Okay, once it's completed, it marks as a check mark. But how does it change the quiz button to normal before the completed actually came on top of it? So that's where we need to create a trigger, change state of quiz button to normal, okay, when timeline starts on this slide. Okay, now when timeline starts on this slide, the conditions, which is topic A is equals to true, okay, and topic B is also equals to true, and topic C is also equals to true. Okay, so this is where it is based on the variables. So once all these three things is true, then only the state of the quiz button will change to normal. Okay, now based on that, if you put this sequence, okay, so let me test this out, entire project again. So next, topic A, topic C, topic B. Okay, it can normal again. Okay, so let's say I click this, next, next. Oh, I cannot go back. So silly of me. Let's go into topic quizzes. Under this last slide, I need to enable this one, next. So preview one more time, entire project. Topic B, topic C, now normal already. So let's say I click quiz, then course conclusion. Then once I click next, why cannot click next? Course conclusion, when the user clicks on the next, jumps on the next slide. Oh, there's no next slide, main menu. Silly mistakes that I do sometimes. This is the trouble for this style of thing. Sometimes you need to preview as entire project. Now, once you turn back to normal, okay, and it doesn't change to completed. Why is that? Okay, so once you click the quiz, you click next again. This one is the last slide. Then once you click next again, it comes back. So why doesn't it change to completed? Now, it's because the sequence of the triggers. Okay, now this one has changed to completed before it changes to normal. Okay, as I said, the triggers read from top down. So this one, I just move it up one step. Okay, then let's say I preview one more time. And next, topic A, C, B, then quiz, last slide. So supposed to mark, yes, correct. So as long as you get all 4 ticks, okay, do that. So this is a trigger that you create, okay. So that means how you create, that means the conditions is that topic A, topic B, topic C is true. Then only you change the state of the quiz to normal, okay. Now with that created, under the last slide of the quiz, but on the quiz function, that's where under slide properties, I switch on for the next button, okay. I make the check here. And then after that, for jump to slide, definitely I jump back to the main menu whenever I click next button. Okay, then only I start to preview. Once you preview, definitely it's still wrong because the sequence of the triggers play a part as well. So normal, I definitely move one step up before the completed. That's it. Okay, once it's done, once you test it, put a thumbs up if it's working as expected. Mm-hmm.
Alina,
Yes.
sorry, I have a lot of questions. So what happened here? So you said earlier that I should move the change state of quiz button
Yeah.
prior the completed what?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, there. However, the the one with the topic A underscore complete equals true value is under object triggers. So I cannot move it
So timeline starts on
upward.
this slide, not timeline starts on this object. Timeline starts on this slide. You need to make sure.
Oh, not quiz button.
Ah.
Timeline starts on
On
this
this slide.
slide. What happened here? Oh, when there. Timeline starts. Gosh, you eat a lot of carrots, no? You already saw what's wrong. Because when you eat carrots, it makes your eyes clearer.
Oh, is it? But I
I don't.
didn't.
Yes.
But that means you didn't share your screen also. How can I see? That's a magic.
You ate 5 carrots a day. No, just
No.
kidding.
No. I do like
Timeline
carrots though.
starts. Okay. Oh no, what happened? Let's move it here. Ay, move it here. Another one is the quiz button to completed. I need to include a condition, right?
Yes.
If
quiz complete is equals to
however
value.
the quiz underscore complete is not visible.
Why?
Okay, I know now. I don't because I don't have
Variable.
the manage. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. 2 questions, Anima. Where got a lot of questions? Now, the rest of you all, have you completed? Okay. So once you have completed, we shall move on into the slide number. Okay, that's one of the target. Okay, now slide number itself, I hope I'm okay to go on with slide number. I'm not sure. Put a thumbs up if I'm able to continue. Okay, Lisa says can, Shaira says can. How about Viret? I think he's occupied. Oh, also put thumbs up. How about Casey?
All good.
Okay, great. Okay, now for the slide number itself, we shall do it within this slide itself. Okay, now definitely slide number needs to go into the slide master. Okay, so let's go in view slide master. Okay, Now, that slide itself, it refers to this particular layout. Okay, so let's proceed to slide number. So insert slide number. Now, slide number in menu, total slides in menu, and you have more as well. Let's click into more and take a look on it. What other things that you have? Now, this is all about slide. This is under the menu side, and this is current menu section. Now, current menu section is basically the scene itself. So most of the time, we do it under question bank as a separate scene. Okay, so that means the slide, sometimes I have content there, then I jump towards another scene for the question bank. So this part of things, I want the question number, not the slide number. Okay, so this is where I put in the slide number in menu section. Okay, so for question bank side, now this part of things, definitely I need to put in slide number out of total slides. Okay, then the percentage of completion, which is over here. Okay, so right now I just insert text first. Okay, right at the corner here. Okay, then I put in slide. What number is it? Then I go in under insert, slide number in menu. Okay, so this is the number. Okay, and then, so let's say I put out of total slides. Okay, total slides also is here, or you can actually go total slides in menu. Okay, then after which is under player menu order. Now, what is these two difference? Player menu order and project order. Okay, project order, it defines based on the structure of your menu. Sometimes you create in a sequence, sometimes you do not create it as a sequence. Like story view is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Okay, so based on your player menu order, definitely I actually just follow my structure of the menu. That's it. Okay, let's say it's 1, then 3, then 4, then 2, something like that. Now, project order means that it goes according to the story view itself. Okay, story view, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. That's it. Okay, now let's say I go against the player menu order, total slides. So I click insert, then I put full stop. Okay, then how much completed? Definitely is a percentage. Then let's say I go into more. Okay, then I put progress through menu. Okay, it's also player menu order, insert, completed, something like this. Okay, so all the text itself, I want to make it slightly smaller because these things usually we show it in a small little view. Okay, something like this. Okay, so right now I exceed my slide master. So that means I go back to slide master and then I click close master view. So all these things is already available. Okay, and also topic A, topic B, quizzes also is available. Okay, so right now let me preview by entire project. You can do that. Check whether the slides number is working for you. So this one is 2 out of 14, 14% completed. Then this one, it keeps on increasing. Okay, so right now I come back here. If I revisit again topic A, the percentage does not increase. Okay, because I've visited earlier. Okay, so this one, it takes into consideration as well. So it's working fine. Okay, now the next thing that I wanted to share with you all is that exclude slides. What is this? Now, once I click under exclude slides, there are several things there that you want to include the check marks for all these things. That means the scene number, that means is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that means it's going in sequence as well. So whether you, for this case, whether you choose project order or menu order does not matter for this particular exercise itself. Now, if let's say I choose to include this light box slide, the navigation, okay, so what happens? It has 15 slides. So right now it's 14 slides. So let's say 15 slides already. So let's say I click OK, it changes to 15. Okay, so you can choose which slide to exclude. Okay, in the end. So this is the thing. So I choose to exclude again, then it changed back to 14. Okay, I'll give you a few moments to try it first before we continue with random number variable. So once it's done, put a thumbs up so that I'll know. Preview entire project. Please put a thumbs up once you preview that is okay, that is working fine as expected, so that I'll know that I can continue. So can everyone completed? Wow, everyone is silent. Shaira, any issues?
So far, no.
Okay, great. The slide numbers you can do,
I'll try.
Okay. Virek managed to do the slide numbers?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Which is under view, slide master. Okay. Then after that, you insert text. Then you create a text. Then you put in slide. Then after insert slide number. Okay. That means the slide number, first the hash key, which is the slide number. Then I type it out. Out of total slides in menu, which is 14. Then I put a full stop. Percentage, definitely I go into more, which is this one.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Ina,
Yes.
can you repeat that again? I'm so sorry.
My
Go
bad.
in. Sorry? Yeah,
No, go ahead.
Go into view, slide master. Okay. Now, within the slide master itself, this is the view. Okay. So insert text box. Let me draw one more time.
The main menu.
Yes, wherever. Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't matter
Does
which
not matter.
view I'm looking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slide master.
Then you know that which slide is selected already. If not mistaken, it's the second one. Okay. Then just put in slide. Then after that, you go into insert slide number menu, which is coming out as a hash key out of how many slides, total slides. Then I put a full stop. Percentage completed. Definitely I need to go into slide master again, go into more. Then after that, put in the percentage, which I go through player menu order and then completed.
After the full stop, Can you repeat again after the full stop? From the percentage onwards.
So that means I go into slide master, not slide master, slide number. I go into more, okay? Then this part, I click under drop down, then percentage is here. So once you select the percentage, player menu order or project order. Now, player menu order, definitely it follows your menu structure. How sometimes the sequence of the scene will change. Okay, so that one, it follows. Now, project order, meaning that it follows your story view itself. Okay, so this is what it means. Then once you click insert, yeah. You do it inside the slide master. So after which you can close the slide master and then you preview entire project.
What happens if we don't do it in the slide master? Can we do it?
I mean, if you do it inside the slide, that means for the number of slides, you need to do it everything again, every slide. That means you need to do it. If you have 15 slides, you need to do it 15 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, Casey already put a thumbs up, which is good. Okay. Okay, Lisa also good already. How about VRED? Shira also good also, thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, VRED also okay. Now, for slide number side, we have completed. Okay, so we have completed 3 different variables. Text variable, which is this morning, number variable that this afternoon as well, and the true false variable, that means sometimes you want to control certain things. Okay, so this is where the true false variable work, and slide number variable as well, which is the built-in variable. Okay, so save your file. I want you all to open another file right now. Close. Okay, open random starter. Okay, once you open random starter, I think it's somewhere here. Yeah. Now, once you all open it up, if not mistaken, some of you all may get all these things also, the trigger side. I want you all to remove this button. Remove the reference as well. Okay, once you remove the button, don't remove the triggers. Just remove the button. The triggers will automatically follow the button to go out. Okay, yeah. Now, random starter, you can get it from session 8, then call for random starter itself. Okay. Now, one thing for sure, I need to show you the outcome of it. I think is, oh, I haven't showcased. Let's see. Where is it? Random. Okay, now the outcome is this one is 5. So once I roll the dice, it becomes 4. Okay, once I roll the dice again, this one is for the checking purpose, then it becomes 5. So it's right. Okay, so this is how sometimes it's done. Okay, now you can make a GIF file or a mini video file as well for the dice to actually make the movement. Okay, so later on, once I share certain demos, some of it is uses GIF file, some of it uses video file as well. And some of it, like just now, I put roll the dice, then the pawn show one. Yeah, those things is like a mini GIF file. Okay, then sometimes it changes to different states before it actually put in the correct state. Okay, now, so let's try to create. Okay, insert button. So button side, I want you to create this button itself. Let me save this first. File save as desktop EL. Okay, now let's create a button, or you want to check the different elements. Okay, click into this one, the dice. You have 6 different states. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so whenever is the random number is 1, you change the state to 1. That means you show this dice. Okay, so that is the random number. Okay, so right now I want to create a button to roll the dice. Roll the dice. Okay, now for this button, I need to rename as well. Roll dice. VTN. Do that first. Where is that again? Yeah. Wow, the lightning, thunder, goodness. Yeah. Now, after that, you create a variable. Okay. Now, variable, that means you go into manage project variables. And this one also you need to remove first. Okay. So right now you click the plus. Okay. Then I put dice. Now, the text definitely I need to change into number. The value, that means I change to random. Random means that you start from 1 to 6, okay, for the dice side of things, whatever which is available, okay, 1 to 6, the dice itself. Create a variable that is dice, the type which is a number, okay, and you choose random number variable, and is between the value of 1 to 6. Okay, after that, you click OK. Then click OK again. Okay, now upon I click, okay, so definitely the random number works already. So that's where I need to create a trigger as well. Okay, now once you create the variable, definitely I need to get the trigger out for the variable itself. So that's where I adjust the variable. Then this one is dice. So this one I can change it to, oops, I got a call, set dice to the value. That means I can change it to random. Now value, variable, random. Value, that means you want to set certain values. Variable means that sometimes you want to set or you want to multiply with this variable, or you want to allocate for this value itself to this variable. Okay, random means that it's random number variable. So this is where I put in 1 and 6. Okay, yeah, whenever user clicks under roll dice button. Okay, so this is what we do. Heavy rain right now in Malaysia.
Elena, can you please repeat about the variable again? After the adjust the variable, how do we set the variable?
You click dice. You select dice. Have you created the variable? Okay, once you created
Yeah,
the
I've created.
variable, yeah.
Okay.
So that means dice. Then after that is set dice to variable. That means it's random. Then after that, it comes out between 1 and 6. That means you need to key in. Okay. Then after that, upon when I click roll the dice button, which is this button. Okay. Then after that, I click OK. Okay. So you can imagine that upon clicking on this button, it will change accordingly. Okay. So now, based on the variable, that means we need to check whether it's correct or not. So definitely we need to reference out first. So let's check. Dice equals to value of dice. Okay, the variable reference itself. I think I put the variable which is dice. Yeah, correct. Okay, so that we can check whether it's correct or not. Okay, now once that is done, we need to create triggers in order to change to a different state for all these dice. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's where we create the trigger. Okay, change state of dice to 1 first. Okay, let's say this one, the object is called dicer. Okay, you select this object. When user clicks under roll the dice button. Okay, now condition is that whenever the random number is equals to 1, then only it changes the state to 1 state. Okay. Any questions? None. Then value is equals to 1. So whenever the value is equals to 1 for the random number variable itself, it changes the dice to this state. Okay, so now let's click OK. Then after that, I just, let's say, I duplicate and change the number again. Duplicate 6 times. Okay, so dice to number 2. Whenever the value is changes to 2, then dice to 3. Then whenever the value is equals to 3, so do this. Oh, heavy rain. Very strong wind as well. I hope it's not like last time that the strong wind actually, how to call, tumble certain trees in our neighborhood the last time. Okay. Now, once that is done, let me just preview this slide. So right now it's 5. So once I roll the dice, oh, why doesn't it change? Maybe I've done something wrong. Dice to 2, dice to 4. Selected the wrong object. Let me just change this a bit first. Right, when the user, oh, this one. Okay. Roll dice button, that's why. Oops. My connection may be quite bad because it's raining. Okay, let's preview one more time. Roll dice, it changes to 1 when the value is 1, changes to 4, which is correct, then 6, which is correct as well. Okay, yeah. So any questions coming for random dice, random number variable? This one itself, storyline 3 does not have, for your knowledge. So once you tested that is okay already under your side, please put a thumbs up so that I can continue to showcase the number of attempts for question bank side. One of my door keep opening and closing right now because of the wind. So any issues, guys? If it's good, please put a thumbs up. Okay, VREX says okay.
Elena, I have one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you for the review 360.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we would like to someone to review the project, it it need their it need they have the articulate account, right?
No need.
No need, just
Yeah,
send the
they just
link.
need a browser. They just need a browser. That's all. They don't need an articulate account.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you. So no need to subscribe anything, right?
For the user side, if they are reviewing, they don't need an account. Only the people that needs to edit the content or construct the content. Yes, you need the account.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now, for the account management that you can go in under the upskilling minds there, I've actually put in certain things, if not mistaken, it's under pre-reading side. Under the last one, Article 360 Teams, this is how you can manage. So let me click under this link. Where is it coming out? Yeah. So managing of users, let me put it out bigger first. Okay. Managing users, groups, and admins. Okay, so accessing your account management console, understanding user roles, searching for users and groups, sorting users and admins, managing users, managing groups, managing admins as well. Okay, so all these things is actually there. Okay, so if you need to actually go on long leave, okay, or if you are leaving the company, please remember to do this before you leave as well. Okay, if you are managing this part. Okay, so otherwise the people that does not have the rights to actually go in, so that's where you need to come back to us to reset the account. Okay, yeah, because we do not know what password do you put in. Okay, so these are the roles. Then this one, searching for users and groups. Okay, then this one, it will actually says that it actually emailed to Nicola already, which is nicola@mycompany.com. Then this one, how to manage the users. Okay, now I would say that sometimes when you review, that means once you make use of the review 360, okay, in order to find out who has given you the comments, okay, who has given you the comments. So most likely the person that is new to review 360, that means firstly, once they comment, they want to put in a comment. Now, Articulate will ask you for the email first, okay? Once they put in the email, and then only you can comment, okay, so that you would know who has commented. Okay, that's the way. If you put anonymous, that means you do not want to collect anyone's details based on a comment. So then after that, under review 360, there is anonymous as well. Okay, so this is how you can set. Okay, now this part of things is managing of user rights only. So invitations expire after 90 days. That means once you send the invite, the invitation will expire after 90 days. Now, 90 days means that it's not 90 working days. Okay, it includes the weekends as well. Okay, bulk import users. So this one you can make use of bulk. Okay, download seat holder info. So all these things is already in there. Okay, so you can learn about it, try to manage. Okay, yeah. Now let's go back here. Okay, under roll the dice. So anyone has any problem with this before we move into the number of attempts? Nana, Casey has no problem. Shira also no problem. Virat also. Lisa. Maybe she's, oh, okay, no problem as well. So that's where you can save this, close this file again. Now today we are opening and closing a lot of files. Okay, so now, right now, I want to search back the quiz question bank side. So search for your file under session 5. Search for your file. My side is under desktop. Session 5 itself, I think is this one. Okay, search for your file. Question bank icon, it looks something like this. Okay, we will do the number of attempts. Now, while we are waiting for you to search for the file, let me showcase some demos first. Okay, there are certain demos that is quite important as well for you all. I'm not sure. So Space Ranger Corps login. Okay, so this is where you can log in. So let's say I put Elena L. Okay, then I press enter. Okay, so Elena L, enter your personal 4-digit identifier. So this one requires a 4-digit identifier. So that means I can put in anything. So if you do not put in anything, let's say you put in 0 as well, then you click verify. So it comes out the wrong answer for you. That means it comes out the wrong one, access denied. So let's say you key in certain things like 3. Okay, verify. Then it comes out the blue one. That means access granted. So this is where you can set different variables. Once it's determined that I just enter anything, I just choose any figure, then it allows me to go through. It's like the text entry. Okay. Now, Welcome Ranger, your mission is to customize a ground transportation vehicle for traversing alien worlds. After completing your transport, you will be evaluated on your choices. So good luck. Okay. So this one can be a game-based learning as well. Okay. So can you imagine that? Have you all watched Fast and Furious? Okay, I believe that most of you all have watched the Fast and Furious. Right now, if not mistaken, it's Fast and Furious 9 or 10 already. Okay, so that's where, now let me just explain this. Now, Fast and Furious is basically cars racing, the racing cars one. Okay, so at the last episode, that means the car, they also put the, what do you call, certain, what do you call, the, not to say bombs, okay, certain accelerator, okay, in order to boost the car into space. Okay, now bear in mind that your content can go out to the level of that. Don't need to be subjected to the airline, or don't need to be subjected into the banking side. Content can go all out one sometimes if you are acceptable to it, definitely. Okay, so this is where it can be a game-based learning as well for this. So once you selected a transport, you can put in certain lessons in there or certain quizzes in there. Okay, then you move on into how call the transport actually moving things or moving from one planet to another place itself. Okay, once it reaches a destination, it calls in another module. So this is where you can put on a game base as well. Okay, it's enhancing the learning, definitely. So let's say I click accept. Okay, so this is all references, Elena L 3000 encrypted special ops. Okay, so begin at step 1 below, explore the options, then select lock choice to move to the next component. So this one I have yet to select. Okay, so firstly, I need to select frame color. As you can see, all these things is locked. So that means I cannot proceed with this. So let's say I want to see what the red frame is. The red frame is something like this. So now, once you choose a red frame, it actually launches a layer that it shows a red color frame, green color frame, or blue color frame. Okay, so I like the blue color frame one, so I lock choice. So once I lock the choice, it gives me, could be a scene, could be a slide, it could be a layer as well. Okay, so this one, it could be one slide, just making use of all the different layers. Okay, so now, once I lock choice, that means I'm unable to come back here. So this is locked already, the frame color. So this one, that means is that once I click lock choice, that means I make the variable as true. Once it's true, it's definitely locked. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do as well. Okay, the seat type, minimal is like that, standard is like that, okay, and a recliner, which is more comfortable. Okay, so I like the recliner because at the planets, definitely is bumpy. Okay, so let's say I lock choice. Okay, and this one is definitely not there already. Then this one is referencing out, that means the blue frame, the recliner seat. Okay, then where the flat bed, that means it's the cargo area. Hatchback, that means it's something like this. Tall cap, that means it's something like this. Okay, so I want the tall cap. Let's lock choice. Now it moves into another scene. Okay, so the scene itself I've selected based on the variables that I selected, based on the referencing as well. So this is how it can actually show. Okay, then I need to select the tires. So standard, which is this one, smooth, which is this one, and knobby, which is this one. Okay, most of the time under the planet side, we will choose knobby so that you can actually go into different levels of the sand itself or different gravels itself. So lock choice. Telescope, accessory. Telescope is so big, radar dish or claw arm. Okay, so this is where it actually says that. So I want a telescope, for example, let's lock choice. Now, under task progress also, I finished up to 80% already. Okay, so this is where I've completed my task of selecting a transport. So let's lock choice. So right now it's 100%. So all these things is being referenced out. Okay, so log build and rebuild. Now, this lesson here, okay, it stops here. Okay, but in order to enhance this further, how would you enhance? So I would enhance in a sense that my course will go all out. Okay, that I would travel from one place of the planet to another place. Okay, and then sometimes is that firstly I need to ask them to build the the cargo first, the transport first, and then moving into the introduction side. Okay, then after the introduction, then I come back here, then I have a map where they want to go. Okay, then I select where I want to go, let's say the furthest area. Okay, so let's say I select that and it goes on into a lesson ready, then I go on into a quiz. After I done the quiz, I pass, then I come back to the map. So that's where the map side of things, the transport is moving towards the destination already. So I can do that. Okay, so all these things is part and parcel of a game-based learning. Okay, so this is one sample. Another sample that I have is hangman game. Okay, so revenue generation per employee is 26% higher for companies who employ training and development best practices through. What is the answer? This is a 4-point. And lives, you have 7 lives. Okay, so this one is a number variable. Okay, now how can you show this, or how can you select, whether you type in, whether you select the different alphabets, your choice. Okay, so the answer is e-learning. Okay, so I definitely go with the vowels first. Let's say I put E. Okay, so I still have 7 lives. So if you choose the wrong answer, so this is where it comes out. Now, whatever that you have selected, the alphabet, it can change color. Change color means that you change state. So once this one is wrong, okay, then it comes out the different problems for you. That means the hangman. Okay, so let's create the hangman, something like this. Okay, so this is the hangman game. So the answer is e-learning. E-learning, NG, and okay, something like this. Okay, so it makes use of different variables, definitely. Okay, so this is one sample. Okay, now another sample, let me just move it first. Okay, let me just restart. There are certain instructions. Discover Manhattan, New York. Use the arrows on your keyboard. Okay, so just now the kayak game, you can change it into a keyboard navigation as well. Your choice, instead of clicking. Okay, now use the turkey in order to navigate into all the different apples. Okay, so this one, I just use my left hander in order to navigate. So let's say I move to the right, then come down. Now, once you hit the apple, that means intersect, what happens? That means Statue of Liberty comes out. So what is that? That means object intersects. That is so simple. Okay, then after that, the next trigger is showing. Okay, once that one is true already, that means the show layer, then after that, I showcase the apple itself to be visible. This one is also change state. Okay, then let's visit all of it. Let's say I cross over. Yeah, so this one is how you can do. Now the variable takes place, okay, when I visited, then after that I have the total apples. Okay, so this is where certain variables will work as well. Okay, so this sample itself is inside the, what you call, is inside the resources under session 8. Let's go back. Demo samples, all these samples is there. Where is this? Oh, New York output is not there. Oh, I need to put that in then. Okay. Yeah, this is New York sample. Now, let me go into making euconium, which is this one. Welcome to the Newco R&D lab. I need you to mix up some euconium for me. Okay, so yes, I'll be happy to. Just tell me how. You have the lab code. Why can't you do it? Okay, so this one, I would be happy to. Just tell me how. Okay, so that's great. You just need these 3 chemicals, a large beaker and a Bunsen burner. 1 batch of euconium coming right up. How do I make euconium? So because we don't know, so let's say I click. Now let me see, you have to first pour the iron oxide into the beaker, then add the aqua solution of atrazine. Finally, you add the bicarbonate. So it needs to go into the correct order. Otherwise, it could get messy. Okay, so I got it. So now, good, I'm going to step over here and get to work for a cure for a cold. That means she's trying to cure for COVID virus. Okay, now this is iron oxide. Now, how did we do this? I actually just hover on top and then I change the state to have the box of iron oxide as the hover state. Okay, then this one is bicarbonate and this one is aqua solution of atrazine. Okay, these chemicals does not exist, by the way. These chemicals does not exist in the world. Okay, now first I need to pour atrazine. So now when I'm able to drag any object, it makes use of the triggers. Triggers, that is drag over or drop on. Okay, so now when I drag over, intersect with this beaker itself, okay, then I change my, how you call this, I don't know what is it called already, change this icon itself to tumble turn. Okay, then it drops the blue color, it changes state as well. So there are a lot of triggers in here. Can you imagine? Okay, everything is change state. Okay, and then after that I pour the aqua solution. So object intersects, then I change state, okay, of the chemical to yellow color, and then I change the icon itself to tumble turn, then I disappear it. So there's few triggers here as well. Okay, then I put on this. Okay, then the next thing is that, great, you mix it correctly. Now please heat the solution to between 145 and 195 degrees for 5.5 seconds. I'm going to get back here for a cure for the cold. Okay, so this is a number variable. This one, it is a number variable as well. Okay, so number variable, that means you can key in. Okay, now once you click heat, see what happens. The fire actually gets bigger upon I click. Okay, and the degree also, it gets higher. So if I keep on clicking, it changes to 100 degrees now. Once I don't click, it goes down. How did I create this? Okay, so in a sense that we created several states. That means 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, 40 degree, and so on. Okay, so all these are different states. Huh? Okay, that means the, how you call, the levels of it is actually growing up. Okay, now let's say it says to heat it up under 145. So let's say I go up 145, then the number variable actually kicks in. So once I don't heat it up, it actually goes down. That is one trigger. Okay, so if you want to know how we did this, okay, in the sense that you can deconstruct this, this storyline file and reconstruct it. Find out, explore. Okay, I want you all to explore. Okay, so this one, let's say I heat it up again. So 0.51, bomb. Okay, because I didn't heat it right. Okay, because it's 200 degrees already. Okay, so now basically this is quite interesting. This one is lab coat. Okay, so this one you can do it for certain things, the maintenance side. Okay, for airline, definitely maintenance under the airplane, what needs to check first. Okay, for banking side, the procedures in checking for compliance. Okay, so all these things you can make use of all these these samples that are passed to you even. Okay, so any questions on that? Nana? Okay. So this is another sample. Let me mute it. This one is random number variable as well. Now this random number variable, it actually makes use of the dice. And once I click the dice, you can see how it moves. It's not making use of a GIF file. It's making use of a mini video file itself. So click the die to roll and answer questions to keep rolling. Note incorrect answers reduce your fuel supply. If your fuel runs out, you have to start over. Okay, so this gives the ultimatum to the learners as well. So you do not want to waste the fuel supply. Okay, so now, so let's say you click the dice. So this one is a small little movie file. Okay, then once it reaches 6, it calls a question. So in order to enhance this further, okay, once you click the dice, okay, then I put on the lesson first, I put on certain quizzes first. Then if I answer correctly, then I would not lose a few. Okay, now once it's 6, this I think is alien, will come to the 6th position. So you can put on the motion path to go there. Okay, now if you lose your whole field, that means 3 field supplies also gone. You need to allow the learners to reclaim the field as well. Okay, so how can you reclaim? That means there is a strategy. Okay, after they have lost it, you ask them to restart the whole program. That means it restarts. That means they get all the fuel supply again. Your choice. Now that is one option. Or you can actually put on certain quizzes there. Okay, one of the quiz that is simple, okay, for them to answer. Once they get it right, they get 1 fuel supply. Okay, or they need to get all 3 questions right or all 5 questions right, then only they get only 1 fuel supply. Okay, so sometimes people play those type of games. I believe the media people knows that. Virek as well as Sadara. I believe you all play games, right? Okay, so this is how you can strategize your content as well. Okay, yeah. So let's click again. Let's click the wrong answer this time, which is 5. So let's click under the incorrect answer, submit. Then I lose 1 fuel supply already, as you can see. Okay, so this is one sample. So the other samples, which is this one we have shown, this one we have shown. The last sample that I will leave it for later. Okay, now let's go in under the number of attempts. Okay, now number of attempts is that we go in under the result slide. Now, whether you can find the slide or not, I'm not sure. If you manage to find, put a thumbs up. Question bank 1, which is under session 5. Okay, Casey managed to find, Lisa also managed to find. Okay, how about Shira? Virek, yes. Okay, managed to find as well.
For me, I'm not yet completed yet.
Okay.
Yeah, due to the previous time, I don't have the machine to test.
Okay, that's fine. So later on, you can view back the recording lah. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Now, under retry quiz, normally the retry quiz button, we normally put it under the failure layer. Okay, so let me just cut. Okay, I need to select the border, cut, and put it under the failure layer. Okay, now with this, once I cut the button, is under how called, is under failure layer that I have also triggers there. Okay, so right now I need to create the variable first. Now this one I want to attempt only 3 times. Okay, 3 times. That means the first time of the quiz I attempted, second time, third time, then after the third time it is failed, then I need to restart the course. Okay, something like that. So let's try this. Create a variable. Okay, variable is called number of attempts. No number of attempts. Number of attempts. That is a number variable. Okay, value, which is 0. Then click OK. Create that. Okay, so once you have created it, okay, it's something like this already. Number of attempts, number variable, the default value is 0, use count is 0. Okay, so once you click OK, right now for retry quiz button. Okay, now retry, let me just explain about retry. You can actually attempt one question, that is, let's say under the question side, you can set the number of attempts as well. Now, if you set the number of attempts, one question itself, you can actually attempt 3 times. And then over here, for the quiz also, you can attempt 3 times. How many attempts does the person has? Okay, think about it. Okay, now this question itself, I put to all participants, definitely. Okay, now for assessment, normally we only put 1 attempt per question. Okay, then we track via the quiz retry button. That's where we only have 3 attempts per question. If you set the number of attempts, let's say 3, 5 questions, all 5 questions that they need to answer, also 3 attempts. So let's say I get it wrong, I just stupidly just answer anything, okay, I may get it wrong. So how many attempts does the person has? Okay, they may have 15 times, then times 3 attempts in here, they have 15 times 3, 45 times. Okay, 45 times that they need to attempt for every question. Okay, so that's what it does. So make sure that for assessment, you need to set number of attempts is only 1. You control via the result slide for the retry button. Okay, now if under practice, okay, for practice side, you can set the number of attempts, definitely, whether 2 times, 3 times, or 5 times, your choice. Okay, so that's one thing. Whether pre-check questions also, you can set that. Okay, set the number of attempts. But assessment, definitely we don't want the users to know the answers. We don't want to tell them the answers also. Okay, so that's where we only set 1 attempt. No answers are revealed. Okay, so that's where we also create retry button. Okay, so at this moment, we created a variable called number of attempts. So how does the number of attempts work? Okay, now, first, let me tell you the concept first. I can try for 3 times. Okay, after the 3rd time, then I disappear the retry button. I appear restart button. Okay, so that's where I create a restart button. Let's say create a restart button over here. Restart. Okay, and this button itself, let me just rename it first. Restart BTN. And then I create the trigger that just jump to this slide 6.1. Jump to this slide 6.1. That means I need to go down 6.1. That is draw from question bank itself whenever user clicks under restart BTN. Okay, and normally without any attempts is normally hidden. So that's where I change the state to hidden. Okay, only when the number of attempts is 3, then only restart button is appearing. Okay, so that's what I do. Okay, so this one is two different positions. So if let's say it's working already, then only you move this restart button on top of retry button. You can do that. Okay, now let's start with retry. Okay, so let's create a trigger. Okay, so for this, we want to adjust the variable to increase the value of the variable. One time is that once I fail, I try one time. Okay, so you need to track how many times do you actually attempt. So adjust variable. Okay, so text entry, which is not, so I change my variable to number of attempts. Okay, not set. Okay, that means I click plusing, plus the value of 1 to number of attempts whenever user clicks for button 1, which is retry quiz. Okay, so this is what I do. Okay, so firstly, the default value is 0. Okay, so once I fail the first time, it increases by 1 upon I click. Okay, then after that, once I click, it's second attempt already. Okay, now second attempt, if I fail again, then this button will still appear. Okay, once I click again, that means it's third attempt. Okay, once it's on the third attempt, okay, if I fail again, this button will disappear and restart button will appear. Okay, how do I do that? Okay, so now this is this. Okay, I just add the value only. Okay, then I click OK. And then after that, you need to check the sequence of the triggers as well. Okay, so this one, it jumps to the slide ready. So basically, it needs to go above. Okay, so firstly, I go up right above. Firstly, I need to add the value. Then I reset the result slide. Then only I jump towards another slide itself. Okay, for the button 1. And then I create another trigger, which is to change the two different states for retry quiz as well as restart. Okay, now then I change state for retry, which is which button? I think button 1. Is it button 2? Where is that? Objects under failure, button 1, objects on failure. Okay, to hidden. Okay, when it's not button clicks, when timeline starts, because whenever I fail, it's timeline starts for this layer. So timeline starts on this layer. Now, if your condition meets only, that is, your number of attempts equals to 2, not 3, 2 only, is equals to 2. Now, you ask me, why 2? Okay, in a sense, the first time when I attempt, that means it's not counted. Okay, so whenever I fail the first time, I click under the button side, then only it increases by 1. Okay, when it increases by 1, my right hand right now, that means the second attempt will go in. Okay, then if I fail my second attempt again, I click under the retry button. Okay, so that means it's equals to 2. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, then after that, if I fail again, that means I got number 3. Okay, so this one you need to keep count, okay, based on your fingers. If you run out of fingers, use your toes. Okay, yeah, so this one, you just click OK. Now let's try this first before we actually start with restart. Okay, so this one, I need to preview this scene. Let's try, see whether it's correct. It will take some time because this was last week's, last week's slide. And basically, I've removed some of the cache memory during the weekend. Wow, so long. Any questions, by the way? Oh, came out already. Okay, so I just simply click, I need to fill, this is my first time that I'm attempting. Correct. Just click under the last option. Okay, wrong. How many questions do I need to proceed? So I failed. This is my first attempt. So retry button is there. Okay. So once I click, number 2 attempt. So you can see my fingers there. Execute, close, initiate, plan. This one got try again, submit again. So I need to get it wrong. Scores multiple quizzes to create a final result slide with a consolidated score. False. Then this one I just click the last option. Okay, basically I want it to fail. Okay, 40 marks. So this one second attempt. Then after that I click retry. This one is the third attempt. So if I fail again, do you think the restart button will still be there or retry button? Yes. A good motivator. False. Correct. Yeah. Now the retry button is gone. Can you see? Okay. So right now is that it solves my problem. So number of attempts I only got 3 times. Okay. Now, right now, how to showcase the restart button. So that means it changes state as well. So basically, I can make use of this. Okay. Duplicate, paste it, and change it into another trigger. That means change state of restart button to normal. Okay, when timeline starts on this layer, when the number of attempts is equals value of 2. That means whenever my attempt number is 2, then only I can change the state of the restart course, okay, into normal. Okay, I'm getting mixed up with restart and retry. Okay, so let's preview one more time this scene. So in order for you all to do this, definitely I need to pause sometimes. Yeah. I haven't paused yet. So any questions, by the way, while waiting? Oh, come out already. Okay, first attempt. You can see my finger here, first attempt. Second one. Ooh, got it correct. Good communicator. Submit. Close, initiate, execute. Then this one. Well, okay, fail. So I retry. This one is second attempt. Yeah. Okay, this one definitely failed. Retry quiz. Once I click again, that one is third attempt. Okay. Then let's say false as well. This one definitely failed. Okay. Now restart will come out. Okay. So once you restart, that means I can go back into the question or restart wherever you want lah. Okay. So these are the triggers that you create First, you create the variable that is number of attempts, that is under number. Okay, that means the value which is 0 by default. Okay, then after that, you create a trigger that goes for the variable as well to increase the value of 1 to number of attempts whenever I click under retry quiz button. Okay, so that it will keep on from 0, changes to 1, then changes to 2. So once it equals to 2, it does these two things. Okay, first, it actually, I want to change the state of retry button to hidden. That means I want to hide it. That means the users cannot click for retry anymore. I want them to restart the whole thing again. So that's where timeline starts based on this layer itself. Okay, when the number value is equals to 2. And also I created this trigger to actually for the restart button to change to normal whenever the value is 2. Okay, so that is what I do. Any questions? Can try. I'll give you a few moments to try it. Once you manage to do it, okay, put a thumbs up. If you all got questions, you can ask me, no problem. I'll do my best to answer them. If I eat enough carrots lah. Once you manage to do, put a thumbs up so that we can continue. Any questions, any concerns, any issues that you may have faced? So managed to do, or maybe the testing takes time. Yeah, okay, understood. Anyone got a thumbs up? Anyone has completed? You can just put a thumbs up. Ah, Shira, managed to. Okay, that's great. So for your bank itself, you can start to create the number of attempts ready for certain quizzes that you use Storyline. Okay, this is a way to actually do this. Sometimes you can try on other options as well for the number of attempts. Now, my colleague may teach differently. She may use, I'm not sure what does she use, that she may make use of the number variable itself, or sometimes that she makes use of the true false variables itself as well. Okay, so it depends on users' requirements sometimes. Yeah, yes. So I'm just wondering whether Lisa can do this, Casey also can do this. Oh, managed to as well. That's great. Okay. So any challenges? Now you understand, right? Okay, Lisa also managed to. Okay, so that's great. So under the Storyline side, okay, let's try to recap. This is the last part that I want to train you all. That is the number of attempts. So now let's go through this under Insert tab. Now, Insert tab, that means we have gone through Content Library, remove freeform or convert to freeform, Zoom region also. Okay, the media side, most of them we have touched. I think all of them we have touched. Picture, 360 images, shape, caption, video, audio, web object, we have touched that. Text box we have touched, slide number we have touched, reference also we have touched. Okay, table we have not touched because it's exactly the same thing as PowerPoint. Okay, now for hyperlink, sometimes let's say I go in under, wow, so small. text base. Say, for example, this slide. So let's say you highlight certain text, then you want to insert hyperlink. Okay, so this one actually comes out a trigger for you. Okay, so this is where certain hyperlinks is within the words itself. Okay, now symbol definitely you can insert. Okay, symbol. Okay, special symbols also is like Word, Excel, or even PowerPoint that you can insert as well. Now all these things we have touched here: button, slider, dials, hotspot, input as well. Now we did not touch whether checkbox or radio buttons. So this is a part that you can make use of these two functions to create your customized questions inside layers. Okay, this is the part that you can use these options itself. Markers also we have touch base. Trigger, this trigger is definitely the same thing as this trigger. Okay, scrolling panel we have touch. Mouse also we have touch. Okay, so the main thing is under insert panel. Okay, under slides, definitely all the questions, graded questions, survey questions, freeform questions, results, question banks, we have touch. Record screen also we have touch. Okay, so record screen itself, we have 4 different modes that we can record into: video mode, video mode, view mode, try mode, as well as test mode. Okay, so all these things we have tried. Question banks as well. Firstly, we have imported certain questions from Excel, and then we actually convert it into a question bank. Okay, then how we populate the questions inside the question bank, and then how we display out inside the as a scene for the learners to attempt as well. Okay, now design exactly the same. Okay, design side is that firstly, you need to create your slide size first. Whenever you start a new project, what's the slide size? Definitely, I go with custom. I go with 1280960. Okay, or you want the what you call, let's go with widescreen, 16:9. Then after that, I want it to be custom as well. Okay, so the height itself, I want it to be 720. So this one can be the width, your choice. Okay, this is the default. Okay, then these settings where the colors of fonts, background styles, or hide background graphics, this one is when you want to create the background images, the fonts, the standard fonts that your company uses, the standard colors, the branding colors that your company uses, so that whenever you need to open Storyline, it's already there. You don't need to set it again. Okay, for us, we did not set because we're doing multiple clients. Okay, now transitions, exactly the same as PowerPoint as well. Animations, you got entrance animation, exit animation, motion path. Motion path that this morning we touched. Okay, so based on PowerPoint, you also have animation painter. Okay, animation painter, that means you can copy this animation, the complex animation, and you want to duplicate for another object. Okay, so this is animation painter. Okay, view is that you have certain views. That means the only thing that is new here, that is feedback master and media library. Okay, in PowerPoint side, you also have slide master, slide view. Okay, story view is definitely under storyline. Okay, so all these things I brief you under the first session. Okay, help side, definitely sometimes when you put out a log, okay, people will need to know the versions. So recall that the version that you can get under about storyline. Okay, this version itself. Okay. Now, question tools design, definitely, since this one is form view, slide view, definitely you got question tools design and format painter. Okay, so format painter is to format certain objects based on that current object that you have selected. Okay, this one is only copying the format styles itself. So other things is like you have applied different layouts. Okay, so say for example, this particular quiz layout, you want to change the background color based on your branding guidelines. So that's where you can right click, apply layout. So there are different layouts here. Okay, so all these different layouts, which is coming from the slide master itself. Okay, slide master, if you actually import certain slide masters, which got color one, that one you can choose. Okay, so just apply layout and choose different layouts. Okay, then now let me talk something about tab order. I think, where is that? Insert home. focus order. They have changed it. Okay, now focus order, that means how does it, when you tap under the keyboard, that it highlights certain things. So what is the sequence that you want to tap? So all these things you can set a create custom focus order. Okay, so first things first, under the base layer here, you want to focus into try again, all these tags, incorrect, all these buttons, all these how called statements itself, or you want to focus into the radio buttons. So this is where you can set it. Okay, now let's move into a simpler one. Let's move into this focus order. Yeah. Okay, so closure rectangle 1, closure button 1, closure text box. Okay, closure text box 1, project closure, that means it's a layer. Okay, closure rectangle 2, project closure involved, which is a text inside the layer as well. Then closure picture, which is inside the layer as well. Okay, so I want to create just custom focus. So this is where you can actually remove, okay, remove certain things of where you want to focus. Okay, so let's say you want to remove this. I just want to focus into the buttons. So let's say this one also remove, this one also remove. So whenever you tap, you know what you focus into. Okay, so this one you can add certain things as well. Once you remove certain things, you can add that back in. Okay, this is all. Then sometimes you want to reset order or you want to resequence by choosing to be on top. Okay, so this is where it focuses the order of how it's being tapped. Okay, you press a tab under the keyboard because some people do not have the mouse. Okay, this is more for accessibility control areas. Okay, people that are handicapped. Okay, now duplicate, definitely duplicate the slide. Okay, now this one also has find and replace. Okay, so some of the text that is wrongly spelled, okay, you can find that particular text, then replace that certain text into that how called particular spelling. Now for us in Malaysia, okay, we definitely had two different spellings. Okay, whether if we follow the UK style or follow the US style of spelling, especially words like center. Center, the US style is what? I believe Casey can tell me, C-E-N-T-E-R. Okay, C-E-N-T-E-R. Okay, so that is US spelling. UK spelling is C-E-N-T-R-E. Okay, so this is where we find and replace, because now most of our softwares are installed based under the US, even Windows. Okay, Windows that is installed, which is based on the US English that we install. Okay, so all the languages, even Office also, we follow the English US side. So whenever we type, we need to know what are the how called spelling mistakes. Okay, because normally Malaysia follows the UK spelling, not the US spelling. Okay, we follow the UK spelling, but we also have organizations which is internationalized. So that's where when we receive a project, we definitely need to ask the customer itself whether this one is US spelling or UK spelling. They would need to tell us. Okay, so if they don't know whether it's US or UK, we put that a sample. Let's say center, whether you follow this spelling or that spelling, then we know already. Okay, even different pronunciation as well. Okay, pronunciation. Okay, now sometimes the word, let's say, let me type that in. This word itself. How would you pronounce for US and UK, for example? Okay, US is pronounced as route. US is pronounced as route. Okay, UK, route. Okay, so for this, for US, we follow the US pronunciation. Am I right? But the spelling is correct. So for us Malaysians, we are so mixed up. We are so messy in a sense that we sometimes we follow the US pronunciation, sometimes we follow the UK spelling itself. That's the trouble. Okay, so be sure that sometimes is that we follow the root okay, the root, that means UK pronunciation. Then if the user actually mentioned that, oh, it's route, it's not root, okay, then we need to re-record. Okay, so all these things sometimes is quite sensitive to all of you all. Okay, so I'm not sure whether the pronunciation is a matter to you all, but Malaysia side, sometimes we are sensitive on, especially for bankings. Okay, so these are the things that you can set. Now, whenever I highlight on certain things, there is more things under here as well. All this, how you call the expansion of these links. Okay, this one you can find it under Word, under Excel, as well as PowerPoint. Okay, so all these features you can put superscript, subscript as well. Okay, like X power of 2. Okay, like X, I don't know what is called subscript of 2. Okay, whether it's up or down. Okay, so all these things you can set superscript or subscript. Okay, then the effects, whether underline, strike through, or caps, then this one is the spacing between the text as well. Then this one is paragraphing. Okay, so all these things is there. So up to you to actually do it. Okay. Now, next thing is that we also have this storyline options. Okay. General is that it will save auto recovery. Okay. Within the 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, it will save auto recovery. Okay. So that's where if you don't save it, okay, that means it will lose your whole file if you haven't saved it one time. Okay, so that's where whenever you start a new project, save that file first. Instead of doing all the things, then only you save it. Okay, that's my encouragement to you. Okay, disable hardware graphics acceleration. Okay, so this one I do not know what is it. Okay, so yes, so spelling options, autocorrect options also you can set. What are the autocorrect options that you have? So you need to browse through all these things. Okay, then you can set the autocorrect if let's say people would actually key in wrongly. Okay, use a new faster word translation workflow. That means this one is exporting the translation effects. Okay, so under here is basic that I have even translation, import, all these things you have known. Okay, so this one is publishing. Okay, so yeah, so I can say we have covered everything already. Okay, so right now, any questions for storyline? Any questions, any feedback, any comments? This one is the last session for Casey, yeah.
Need to practice more.
Yes. Yeah, so because some of you all may not be familiar with the layout, okay, or the trigger side, that's one thing that I take note that I will need to do it for the benefit for the trainees itself, okay, yeah. So I encourage you all to practice more, okay. If you all have any challenges under the content area, do not hesitate to call me, okay. Yeah, or to contact me via the email that is training@elearningminds.com. I'll do my best to actually support you all, okay, in a sense, because whenever I say this, okay, whenever I have the face-to-face class, that means physical face-to-face class, towards the end of the session, definitely I give my name card out one, okay. Now, when I give my name card, none of them actually contacted me. Okay, that means I say whenever you have issues, you can contact me, but none of them actually contacted me. Only 5% of them, they contacted me. Okay, like certain organizations that they have KPIs to meet, that's where they contacted me. Okay, for virtual training, definitely we give out the emails. Okay, give out the emails so that you can contact me via emails. Okay, because in a sense, it's better that way. Okay, why I say it's better because once you contact me through phone or through WhatsApp call, sometimes I'm conducting training or I'm in a meeting. Okay, so that's where I cannot attend to your call itself. Okay, so it's best to actually email to me, tell me what's the problem. Okay, then also say what is the version of storyline that you have installed. Okay, and what you are trying to achieve. Then best to have even screenshots. Okay, so screenshots can come from your WhatsApp. Okay, that means you screenshot, then you put it onto your your mailbox, then you can send out already. Okay, so we definitely encourage you all. Okay, now The last thing that I wanted to say, right now is 5:26. Now, last thing that I wanted to say is this. Now, for the next steps itself, for Casey's benefit, okay, for all of your benefits, since this one is the last session for Casey, next step itself, you can actually enroll yourself into LXD program. Okay, now this program itself is a training program that is only 2 days training. Okay, that means 14 hours of training session. Okay, so this one, it tells you whether you can actually measure your goals. We pass you certain times. That means we go through the action mapping process. Okay, how can you measure your goals? That means your learning objectives. How can you create your learning objectives itself? Then we pass you certain practices. The next thing that we will teach you is CCAF. What is CCAF? That means it's best to create the scenario, okay? Whether the scenario that works for your organization. Your organization definitely have a lot of issues one, okay? So that's where it's best to use your content. If you do not have your content, we have several contents as well that you can make use, okay? So that's where you create a scenario base. Okay, storyboard. Okay, no matter what software that you use, you can create your storyboard. Okay, that's the second thing. Third thing is that you create a storyboard based on the CCAF. Okay, CCAF is a higher level, storyboard is a detailed level. Okay, so this one we make use of Miro board. Miro is a collaboration board that we have. Okay, so that's where if let's say you are interested, we group you into teams and then you can collaborate with each other as well. Okay, so this is the part that is more than instructional design training. Instructional design training is actually teaching you how can you create your storyboard, the different theories, the different models, okay, how can you create your learning objectives, all sorts of things that it requires even 5 days of training. How can you design that is catching the learner's, learner's eye, how you put the graphics, how can you actually create graphics that captures the learner's attention? Then where do you put the videos? How does learner read? So all this require around 5 days for instructional design. Okay, unfortunately, we do not have instructional design right now for the course. We only have learning experience design training, okay, which is taught by Chai Li Fang, as you can see. Chai Li Fang is very experienced. Okay, she has over 25 years of experience already, as you can see. Okay, and this one is the training dates, which is 17 and 18 of March, okay, or 20th and 21st of June. Okay, so if you would like to enroll, contact our sales party, our business side of things. Okay, the next training that we have is Beyond Training. Okay, now Beyond Training itself, we teach you on the features. Okay, so basically that is 1 day training. Okay, so teach you how to actually create a video illustration for the scenarios. Okay, how can you apply into storyline? Okay, all sorts of things. Okay, then teach you about the compression of videos as well. Okay, now this part of things we will improve on this as well. Okay, in order for us to show you what kind of storyboards that you need to have for a video illustration outcome. Okay, where is it applied into? Okay, then how can you make the maintenance of it? Okay, so all these things we can actually put it within a 2 days training itself. Right now it's only 1 day because we are still improving or still enhancing this training course. Okay, so this is conducted by our colleague, which is Nick Tang. Okay, Nick is an experienced video and graphic designer. He's our designer, definitely. Okay, so he's well versed into Beyond. Okay, and the training dates, which is March 4th, okay, which is 2 weeks later, I think. Then, of course, June 24th as well. Take note of the dates if you are interested and contact our business site in order to enroll for that. Okay, yeah. So any questions based on that or any comments? Let me stop recording.